Friday the 13th, March 13th, 2015. Today's kind of a mild day, weather-wise. The winds seem to be gusting up, and there's kind of a slight chill in the air. It's still the Ides of March. Okay, just about. And the bees are still out. The bees get out every opportunity that they can. Anytime the weather goes above 50 degrees outside, a bee can and is mobile. Below 50 degrees, they become very, very immobile and can die if they're stuck in that environment for very long. Within a hive, the bees cluster to keep warm. And the queen is constantly wrapped with all of her girls and kept around 92 degrees in this cluster. The girls rotate from the center of the cluster out and dissipate their heat that way, as far as keeping the middle of the core at this constant temperature that they do try to maintain. They're out today foraging. Some girls are coming back with pollen on their hind legs. Some of these other girls, these littler girls here, you see they take off and kind of come back and land. They appear to be new brood that is orienting themselves with the hive itself and not necessarily going out foraging. A bee does not become a forager bee until, I think, past 21 to 25 days into their life. A bee that hangs out the door and guards the hive from robber bees and things like that, normally is at the age of 21 days. That is when their sting is most potent. A bee's sting is most potent at the age of 21 days. Bees around that age are found to be used or end up being used or volunteered to become guard bees at the door for a period of time. Past that time, when a bee gets a little older, a little bigger, heartier, stronger, they go forage. Other things bees will do in their elder years, so to speak, with the understanding that a bee normally only lives 45 days. Winter brood can live up to 60 days because while they're gestating in their cells, they're fed additional nutrients and things to enable them to live to be a bit heartier and live a little longer. But whatever, foragers, worker bees live around 45 days. Near the end of their life, they become foragers. Can become other things, but they can become foragers. Right now, I'm not seeing any bees returning with anything on their legs. But earlier today, and definitely yesterday, girls were returning with laden with stuff on their hind legs, light yellow materials that led me to believe it's pollen, that there indeed are plants out here somewhere around here that these bees are finding, and that's good. We have foragers out today. Yesterday I did see foragers returning with stuff on their hind legs. There's some bees right there. Now that color leads me to believe that they are finding flowers somewhere. I put some Pro bee food patty on top of that left sugar water feeder, and I've gotten very little interest at all from the bees. If nothing else, they just seem to land there accidentally. They don't land there to per se eat this stuff. See, that guy just took off. That lady could care less. That was supposedly bee food patty. I basically every month or so, when I crack the hive, find I have to pull the prior little squares of bee food patty I put in my hive and replace them because they've grown soggy. Not eaten, they've just simply grown soggy. The inside of a top bar hive does sweat, and one of the things that can happen is that the bee food patty food can end up getting soggy from simply absorbing some of the moisture that leaches down on the walls onto the floor of the hive. Because my top bar hive sweats, I have the back end of my hive elevated slightly. It helps the water inside that collects to leach down off the walls easier and flow from the back of the hive to the mouth and out the front. To help the water drain from the hive, I have cut these little slots in the porch landing. Kind of helps the water to funnel and rivet off the landing of the front of this beehive. You do need to be aware that atop our hive sweats. This is the OZer, Pampered Bees, the OZer style. Friday the 13th, our girls are out on the wing doing bee stuff. Take care. Love bees.